So if you guys want yourself a super fast and efficient AFK mob / XP farm like the one I have right here, make sure you guys stay tuned to the very end of the video to see how we build up this farm. So hello there everyone and welcome back to another video, and as you guys could tell by that quick little intro right there, in today's video we're going to be building ourselves up an AFK mob / XP farm. Now this farm works very simply. As you can see, all the mobs, they will spawn inside of this scaffolding right here, and then when they spawn in the scaffolding they will float up and get pushed off by the water. They will then come down in here into this kill chamber, which is just a trident being pushed around, and then all of their drops and all the XP will drop below that glass and down that tube. That tube will then shoot it along here. All of the drops from the mobs will be picked up in chests down here, and then all of the XP will just be shot up here into your little AFK platform. So yeah, this farm is really quite simple to build, so let's get straight into it. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to try and leave a material list in the either description or in the comment section so you guys know all the materials you need for this. But either way, to begin this out, we want to go about 100 or so blocks up in the sky. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect 100, but as you can see, my Y level is 4 right now, so I'm going to go up to about 104, 105. Pretty much all we want to do is make sure that we are not loading it on any of the ground chunks to make sure that no mobs can spawn down here, and instead all the mobs spawn up in the farm, because that will give us a way faster rates. So the first thing we're going to do once we are up here, we're going to build ourselves a nice little 2x2 platform like so, and then we're going to go ahead and extend out 7 blocks in the direction that we want our AFK platform to be at. So as you can see, mine is over here, and so I'm going to go ahead and just keep it up this way. It doesn't matter which way you go, just choose one side. So we're going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 over here. And then we're simply just going to surround this little 2x2 area right here with 2 blocks high of a wall, as you will see. I'm just going to put some blocks here. I'm going to throw some here, some here, some here, and then we're just going to do this like so that way it's 2 blocks tall. And then right now what we're going to do, we're just going to extend these sides out just by a couple of blocks, because what we're about to do is place ourselves a water source block in here. We're going to place that water source right here in this opposite corner. It should flow out just like so. Then we're going to place ourselves our glass panes, 4 glass panes to be exact, all on top of one another like so. Then we need to go ahead and grab ourselves our pistons. We're going to place 1 piston right here, 1 piston right here, 1 piston right here, and 1 piston right there. I'll give you guys a quick little top down view so you can see how that's looking. And then we're just going to grab ourselves our observers. We're going to come to this piston right here. We're going to send the observer, nope, we're going to send it facing outwards into the distance. Then we're going to run that observer into this one right here, running into this piston. Then this one's going to the distance. Then this one in this piston. This one's going the distance. Piston, distance, and the piston once again. You guys get the point. So now we can just go ahead and test it. So we're just going to do this little piston right here. Flick this lever like so, and as you'll see, that'll make a perfect seamless around. We can go ahead and flick that up for the time being because we don't need that running. And then what we're going to do is build ourselves a 2 block high wall area down here. So we're going to build this up by 1 and 2 blocks on this killing chamber down here, just like so. Now all we're going to do once we built that up, we're going to go to each and every side, and we're going to once again build out by 7 blocks. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Come to this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and number 7. And then once we have our platforms like that, all we are going to do, I'm sure you probably guessed it, we're just going to connect these 2 things up together so that we have ourselves a giant square. And then we're going to end up filling in all of those squares. And then once we have our giant square, it should look something just like so. All we're going to do is grab our blocks again, and we're just going to build a nice little 1 high wall on the outside of this, just going around the whole entire square we just built. And then after we do that, all we're going to do is grab our blocks once again and extend out 3 blocks on each and every side. So therefore we will have ourselves a total of 4 blocks out. As you guys can see, we had the 1 high wall, and then we built it out 3 more. Go and do this the whole entire way around. And then after we build that up, all we're going to do is grab our blocks once again and build ourselves just 1 more border wall going around this whole entire thing, only 1 block high this time. Then next up, once we have that wall up, we're going to grab ourselves some half slabs. It doesn't matter what kind, we just need some slabs, and we're just going to go around the whole entire edge again. And this is just to make sure that no mobs can spawn on these blocks right here. Then what we're going to do is come to every single one of the corners on this top platform. We're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 blocks in each and every corner like that. I'll show you guys one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks just like that. So it should look something just like that in each and every one of the corners. Then what we're going to do is grab ourselves our buckets of water. We're going to place 1 bucket of water on the tops of every one of these corners, just going through just like so. And then once we do that, we're just going to place water buckets everywhere else that's not these top blocks. So don't place any more water buckets on these top blocks, but every single one of these other blocks, as you can see, we need ourselves a bucket of water to be placed on it. For the next step, what we're going to do once again is grab ourselves our blocks. We're going to come to this middle right here. We're going to build up 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks. We're then going to come across the middle so that we were covering just this platform right here, just this hole. This hole is perfectly covered by these blocks. Then we're going to just do the same thing on top of it. And then, as you can probably guess, what we're going to do is come down to these bottom blocks right here, and we're just going to extend out 7 blocks in every direction. So again, this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So once you're done with that, it should look something just like so. Then what we're going to do is grab our block once again, and we're going to start on this block right here. Make sure it's not on the very tippy top block, this one right here. And we just need to make some diagonal lines. So we're just going to start here. We're just going to build like this, just going to the inside. Don't go on the outside like that, just to the inside like this, and it should line up perfectly with this one right here. I'll show you guys once again. Just start on this block and just place them on the inside going down, just like so. So we went ahead and did this for every side, and now we got a cool looking shape that looks just like that. And then what we're going to do, as you can probably guess, is we're just going to fill these all up with some solid blocks as well. Fill up all these little gaps. Then once we fill in the gaps, it should look something like this. This is when we then grab ourselves our scaffolding blocks, and we pretty much just cover every single one of the blocks in this whole entire platform with a block of the scaffolding stuff. So once we have our platform covered in scaffolding, it should look something like this. We're going to grab ourselves our water buckets. We're going to place a water bucket on that corner and a water bucket on that corner. That should flow perfectly to each and every edge, and none of the blocks or the water should overflow down here. So now essentially this comes to the tough part. Well, not really the tough part, but the annoying part is that you have to go and repeat this 5 more times, so we have a total of 6 platforms. I'm going to show you how to build that real fast. So what you would do is you just come to here, you build up 1, 2, and 3, destroy these 2 blocks, and then all you would have to do is copy this platform below exactly block for block. So again, the platform is an exact replica just like that. Then again, we're going to place the scaffolding all over it, and so then it's going to look something like this. Make sure you have your middle blocks the same too. Make sure you have just these 4 here and then another 4 on top of it, and then you can place yourselves your water bucket here, and that will flow again perfectly to each and every one of the edges. So yeah, essentially now all we're going to do is repeat this 4 more times for a total of 6. I'll be back with you guys once you go ahead and complete that step. And alright, so after you complete that step, it should look something like this. As you can see, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 layers tall. What we're going to do is grab ourselves our blocks once again. We're going to come to this platform right here. We're going to build up 1, 2, and 3 just like that once again. Once you build up those 2 blocks, we're going to place 1 block next to it, and then we're going to extend out 8 more blocks. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to once again make sure it's 2 blocks wide. We're going to do the same thing for every single one of these sides. So once again, 1, 2, and 3. Destroy these bottom 2. This like this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just like that. And they're going to connect this all up. Then next up, we're just going to follow the same design we've been following throughout this whole entire farm, this diamond shape. We're going to once again come right here after we have all of these platforms laid out, and we're just going to diagonally build across this until we reach this other one. So we're just going to keep building like this. These are going to be a lot bigger, and it's going to reach, so it's going to be just like that. It's going to look something like that. And the reason why we're doing this is because this is what will make the whole entire farm dark. Therefore, it can work at all times, daytime and nighttime. And then after you're done with that step, it should look something just like this. And then, as you can imagine, all we're going to do is connect this all up together, make ourselves one giant diamond looking shape on the top of this farm. So then after we are done with that step, it should look something like this, a giant diamond over the top of this. Now what we can do is grab ourselves torches or glowstone or something and throw it up here, make sure it's all lit up, just to make sure that no mobs can spawn up here. Or if you have the resources, I'd recommend throwing a bunch of slabs up here, because as you guys know, mobs cannot spawn on half slabs. So as you guys can see, this farm is already working. Mobs are already spawning down here, and well, they're already getting stuck in this chamber down here. And so then what we can do next is come up to this 3rd story right here, and all we're going to do is extend out 25 blocks from this one right here. The 3rd one, which is essentially in the middle, extend out by 25 blocks. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and that block right there, make sure you save that, because that right there will be yourself your AFK platform. And then pretty much what we can do is come down to this bottom right here and extend this out perfectly until it lines up with that block right there. So we extended this block out right here, as well as these 2 blocks right here on either side. So now what we can do is work on this kill chamber once again. We probably should have done this earlier, but all we're going to do is break out these 2 blocks right here. Wow, that's a lot of mobs in there. and these 2 blocks right here, and place in ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4 campfires just like that. And then we're gonna have to figure out how to throw ourselves a trident in there. So there's a lot of mobs, you might just have to get rid of them. And yeah, all we need to do is just get ourselves a trident in there that will just stay down there. Is there one down there? Nope, not quite yet. So as you can see, we got 1 trident down there, and that is literally all we need. You can put more if you want to. Doesn't make much of a difference. And all we're gonna do is flip the switch right here, and as you will see, that will start killing all of the mobs, and all their drops and all the XP will flow out here, which is exactly what we want to happen. And yeah, I don't know if I said this, but the reason why we had these campfires in here is in case of spiders. Spiders sometimes can clog the system, and the campfires just make sure they get lit on fire, and then you still get the XP and all that good stuff from them. Anyways, what we're gonna do is grab ourselves some glass. We're gonna come up to our little AFK block right here. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be glass, but all we're doing is making ourselves an item elevator, well, an XP elevator to be more exact. So all we gotta do is just build this up around here. Oops. Kind of just like so. We can put some more glass on the sides. Again, it doesn't have to be glass, but glass looks a lot cooler, and then you can see all the XP flow up the water and everything like that. Make sure you can put a glass block right here on this front side like this. All we're gonna do is come up to here, and then this AFK block, what we're gonna do is gonna break it out and put ourselves a trap door, and that's because we can then stand on this trap door, and all the XP will fly into our feet right there. Now all we need to do is grab ourselves some packed ice preferably, and ourselves some signs. And then pretty much all we're going to do is wherever the water ends, we're going to break out the block, put ourselves some ice in, and then put ourselves a sign right there. Then we can place a water bucket right next to it, and that will constantly keep sending the items through. If you have lots of ice, you can replace this whole entire bottom section, all of these blocks in the ground. You can replace it with ice if you want to be a lot faster. But if you only have a couple of pieces like we do right here, we can just do it like this. So when you get to your AFK platform, it's probably going to flow into it like that. So all we got to do is place a sign right here to stop the flow. Place ourselves another piece of this packed ice, and then now we need to make this all be water source blocks. So a simple way to do that is to come to the top right here, place ourselves our water, let it flow all the way down to the bottom. And then all we have to do is get ourselves some kelp, and we just place this kelp going all the way up this whole entire water stream right here. Then once we get to the top, we can just come back down to the bottom and break it all out. And so when we break this block, it's going to look like that. All of it should flow upwards, and then all we have to do is put ourselves a piece of soul sand right here, and that will create the bubble elevator for it to flow upwards. We can place ourselves our glass block right here again. And now as you will see, when items, well, it's only going to be XP, not items flowing through here, but we can use items as an example. This is going to flow through all the water, through all the ice, and then they will get shot up to the top where you will be sitting. Yeah, just make sure when you AFK too, you go ahead and flick this on, and you can hear it working and making sure it's killing all the mobs in here. As you see, we got ourselves quite the collection in the time being. But right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up with some glass. You can use blocks whatever you want to, but I'm just going to cover in some glass. I'm going to cover these sides with half slabs, and this is just to make sure that no mobs can spawn here, and then mobs also can't spawn in glass, so you don't have to worry about covering the glass with anything at all. Now all we need to do really is make ourselves an item collection system. Now you can really place it anywhere along the bottom where you want to. I'm just going to choose this piece of ice because it's near the end and I kind of like that, so I'm just going to put it right down here. All we're going to do is build down a couple of blocks like this. That way we can have a hopper that's running into just a block right there. We're going to destroy that block. Then we can put ourselves a rail on top of here, the minecart with hopper on top of that rail. Make sure you don't push it off like I just did. Just place it on there. Then we're going to destroy the rail and just surround this in some blocks just to make sure that it won't move or go anywhere it's not supposed to. So I'm just going to do this. And that right there is honestly good enough. And I mean, this part really is quite simple. All we're going to do now, I guess, is just grab ourselves some chests. You can put as many chests as you want. You can make this as complex and complicated as you want to. I'm just going to do a simple little double chest system for now. You can do whatever you want. It's really not that hard. Once you have this down, we'll do hoppers like that. And then that'll work for now. We can just build ourselves a little platform right here. Just again, make sure if you build yourself platforms near or around the farm, make sure they're either lit up or covered in the half slab. That way, no mobs can spawn on them. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. So we definitely have mobs in there. We can go ahead and just flick this on real fast. You can hear them are not having a good time in there. And as you'll see, all the drops should be put along here. They'll be sucked up as soon as they get to this spot right here. So just give them a second. And here they come. You can even hear we're getting the XP just by standing here. And just like that, they all disappear into this minecart and hopper. Then that goes to that hopper, and then that eventually goes down to this bottom chest right here where we are collecting objects. So all you would have to do now is just sit up here. Go ahead and sit on this block right here. We can even put a little roof overhead to make sure we're safe. You know, you can put yourself a little door right here. Do a little door or something like that. You can even hear if you listen closely. You can hear I'm getting all the XP levels from all the mobs that are being killed down in that chamber. And as you can see, they are spawning as we are talking. And while we are AFKing up here, make sure you hold yourself a looting 3 sword in your hand. You don't have to, but like it will give you way better drops because the looting is directly applied to those tridents down there. So you can just then sit in this box and then you'd be all safe and protected. You get the XP from here and all the mobs will just constantly keep spawning and you will have yourself an AFK XP / mob grinder. But yeah guys, that's gonna be pretty much it for the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you like this farm. I like it. I'm definitely gonna be building my survival world because I think it's really good. But like I always say, like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.